Hello and welcome to another edition of Foreign Dispatches, the program that takes you around the world in 25 minutes. I'm Layo Olarinde. On the program this week, more Israeli hostages are released from Hamas captivity as Palestinian prisoners freed from Israeli jails. Thousands of Palestinian supporters are rallying against plans to relocate Gazans and turn the strip into a US-owned strip. Plus, the month of love ushers in creative innovations in several countries as they celebrate Valentine's Day. Let's get right into the program. As the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire deal approaches the end, more Israeli hostages have been released and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners freed from Israeli jails. It's a bittersweet reunion for hostages and their families. Meanwhile, pro-Palestinian supporters in the UK and the Netherlands protest US President Donald Trump's proposal to take over the Gaza Strip and turn it into a seaside resort.
Hamas released Israeli hostages Eir Horn, Sagi Dekel Chen, and Sasha Alexander Trifanov in Gaza on Saturday, 15th, and Israel freed some 369 Palestinian prisoners and detainees in exchange after mediators helped avert a collapse of the fragile ceasefire. The three Israelis were led into a stage with Palestinian Hamas militants armed with automatic rifles standing on each side of them at the site in Khan Yunis. Live footage showed before they were taken back into Israel by Israeli forces. The ceasefire's second phase is meant to usher in negotiations to return the remaining living hostages amongst the 251 seized that day and complete an Israeli military withdrawal before a final end to the war and the reconstruction of Gaza. Argentina-born Eir Horn, 46 years of age, was taken captive together with his younger brother Ethan. Horn appeared to have lost considerable weight in captivity. His family says now we can breathe a little. The swap of the three Israelis for the 369 Palestinians allayed growing alarm that the ceasefire agreement could unravel before the end of the 42nd day first stage of the truce pact in effect since January 19. In what has become known as Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, people broke into chairs and tears after hearing the Red Cross was on its way to deliver the three to Israeli military forces. Dekel Chen, a U.S.-Israeli, Trifanov, a Russian-Israeli, and Horn, along with his brother Ethan, were seized in kibbutz near Oz, one of the communities near Gaza's border that were overrun by Hamas terrorists on October 7, 2023. On the handover stage in Khan Yunis, the hostages were made to give short statements in Hebrew, and militants presented Horn with an hourglass and photo of another Israeli hostage still in Gaza, and his mother reading, "Time is running out for the hostages still in Gaza." Trifanov was abducted with his mother, grandmother, and girlfriend, all of whom were released during a brief November 2023 pause in hostilities. His father was killed in the attack in near Oz, one of the worst-hit communities. His mother, Lena, expressed joy over her son's safe return from captivity in a joint press conference with family representatives in Ramat Gan.
I want to thank the Creator that we finally reached this day. Thanks to the prayers of all who prayed for Sasha's return. I feel like I've gotten my life back, my soul, my heart back. My son was shot in both legs during his kidnapping, and for us, it's a clear miracle that he can stand and walk.
His partner also is thankful.
I've realized my life's dreams I never expected to have, returning home alive from captivity in Gaza and getting to embrace Sasha again. I want to thank the people of Israel, both here and worldwide, especially those who acted in their own ways and did everything possible to change this twisted reality, to lift us up daily and give us hope.
On October 7, Dekel Chen, 36 years of age, left his pregnant wife and two little daughters in the family safe room to go out and fight gunmen rampaging through the kibbutz. He embraced his tearful wife Abitul tightly and said perfect with a big smile when she told him the name of their baby daughter, who he has not yet seen, was Shahar Mazal, Hebrew for dawn and luck, in a video released by the military. Dekel Chen's father, Jonathan, thanked the U.S. and Israeli governments.
First, I would like to thank the United States government, the Biden administration, until the recent election, for having constructed the framework by which the Trump administration, with its energies and with its force, was able to complete the first phase of the agreement in order to get our hostages home. I know from personal experience the depth of commitment through many conversations with Trump administration officials, Steve Witkoff, Adam Boehler, the president himself, that there is absolutely no way that the Trump administration will not see this through. We all understand that this is an imperfect agreement. That being said, it is the agreement that we have, and it is the agreement that will spread joy to those many families who await their loved ones, 73, those to be reunited in life, and those who deserve a proper burial back here in Israel.
19 Israeli and 5 Thai hostages have been released so far, with 73 still in captivity, around half of whom have been declared dead in absentia by Israeli authorities.
Sasha and Sagi, welcome home.
While families rejoice with the latest hostages release, they still call for more to be done for those still in captivity. Families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas demand that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu send a fully empowered negotiating delegation to secure the release of all remaining captives at once.
Our hearts are bursting with joy for your return. The entire nation embraces you and your families and your loved ones. We are so sorry it took this long to bring you home.
Prospects for the ceasefire surviving have been shaken by Trump's call for Palestinians to be resettled permanently out of Gaza, and for the tiny enclave to be turned over to the U.S. to be redeveloped as a seaside resort. That idea has been rejected out of hand by Palestinian groups, the Arab states, and Western allies of Washington. Fighting for the Palestinian cause, thousands of people took to the streets of Amsterdam and London with a hands-off Gaza message to President Trump. In the Netherlands, dozens of pro-Palestine protesters rallied to demonstrate against the Gaza takeover plan of U.S. President Trump. Demonstrators marched with Palestinian flags and signs, banners, while chanting to denounce President Trump's plans and call for freedom of Palestine. Police were deployed across the protest route to ensure public security.
Trump does not have the right to act in the Gaza Strip. This land belongs to the people, and the people hold it. Trump is a traitor, but he is not a politician. But he has the power to support Israel with all the available weapons. But today it is the turn of the Arabs, the Muslims, the free people of the world, all the countries that reject the migration plan, to support the resilience of the people of Palestine, the people of Gaza, to support their resilience on the ground, so that they can hold on to their land.
And we absolutely will not allow that to happen again. For us, it did happen before once and never again. And the other answer for Mr. Donald Trump, we know how he got there. We see that he is behaving just like another gangster or mafia boss, and that doesn't work with us. We are stubborn, we are truthful, and we will stay true. We will stay doing the right thing. We are committed under the international law, and those threats that he used, that he wants to extort other countries and wants to take over other countries, want to add Canada as the 51st state of America, I think he's a dreamer.
In London, thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters marched through the streets as the UK government is accused of driving protesters off the streets. Independent MP Jeremy Corbyn, alongside demonstrators, marched past the Houses of Parliament chanting and holding signs. The National March for Palestine is the first major protest since January 18th, where 77 arrests took place, resulting in allegations that the government and police are suppressing demonstrations. Stop the War Coalition chief Stewart Chris Nineham was one of those arrested in January and was subsequently banned from attending further protests. After a trial hearing, he had his bail conditions loosened.
Whether you are Suella Braverman, Keir Starmer, the Board of Deputies, or the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, if you want to drive us off the streets, you are kicking a rock! For 15 months, the Zionists tried to take Gaza. For 15 months, they tried to break the Palestinian spirit, and they failed miserably, and Donald Trump will too!
President Trump's remarks have been met with some condemnation from various nations' leaders and have seen mass protests in some countries.
Away from the Middle East, in Kenya, the old school meets new power, with Kenyan engineer revolutionizing classic cars with his homegrown innovations. Peter Imbira is also turning the vehicles into eco-friendly machines in Nairobi, the capital. A Kenyan engineer is giving vintage cars a powerful makeover, using his innovative fuel injection technology to turn classic vehicles into high-performance, eco-friendly machines in Nairobi. In his car workshop, Peter Imberia is repairing the vehicles with modern and vintage cars, along with motorbikes parked by the repair center awaiting upgrades.
What happened is my first machine or my first vehicle was a Mercedes-Benz W201 to be very specific, and came carbureted, okay? So I tinkered with the carburetor for over 3 years. Like I got to the point where I could no longer tune it. Like for fuel economy, I was getting the best. For performance, I was getting the best. But with the carburetor, you can't get best of both worlds. It's either you tune for fuel economy, you lose on performance, or you tune for performance, you lose fuel economy. So I got it to the point where I'm in between there. I lose a bit of fuel economy, and I gain a little bit of performance, okay? But I wanted more, okay? I knew the engine was built like a tank.
Driven by the engine's robust build, he sought a more efficient solution and designed a custom control system to optimize fuel delivery.
I didn't want to change the engine. I didn't want to swap it. So I thought, now that I'm able to design my own boards, my own machines, okay? What if I make a control system to control the engine? Now the engine control system, okay? And that's where I began. I bought a dummy engine, or rather a guinea pig engine, fully functional, just the whole engine plus the exhaust pipe, and I began tinkering with it.
Imberia made a computerized system that monitors engine parameters in real time, unlike the old carburetors that rely on mechanical parts that are poor when it comes to compensating acceleration and fuel economy. Underscoring that instead of simply selling an electronic control unit, he provides kits with remote support, enabling car enthusiasts worldwide to upgrade their vehicles without requiring deep mechanical expertise.
What I'm doing is offering local solution, customized solution for a wider market, okay? And of course, even the costing is very friendly and it's very flexible. I'm using a different route to enter into the market because I'm not just selling the ECU as an ECU. I'm selling you the kit and offer remote support that you can just get the kit. You can install it on your own. You don't have to have heavy mechanical background. We'll guide you remotely until the point the vehicle runs and runs very well, remotely.
According to Imberia, his system significantly lower emissions, although it never goes to zero, but reduces greatly to modern standards, highlighting that a 1967 Mercedes-Benz can achieve emission levels comparable to a 2025 model. However, the engineer encounters skepticism from the market, where the adoption and acceptance of local innovations are often undervalued.
I wouldn't say the main challenge is the mechanical bit. The main challenge is the adoption and the acceptance in the market, okay? Because when you hear it's a Kenyan who has done this, the mindset is it has to be inferior, he has to be copying somewhere, it's not legit, you get. And maybe they'll be like, it's not reliable, it's supposed to be very cheap, you get. Proving them wrong, it's a hard task because now it takes time for them to see the vehicle is still on the road, still running, still performing best, for them to be like, oh, maybe the system is reliable now.
He admits proving them wrong is a hard task, noting that customers demand long-term proof of their vehicle's performance. We take a break now on Foreign Dispatches. When we return, an adorable baby race takes place in the United Arab Emirates. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program. It's the month of love, and several countries have their specific and loving ways of celebrating before, during, and after the 14th of February, that is Valentine's Day. Let's take a look.
In South Korea, it's Meet Your Soulmate in Seoul, the capital, as 100 singles gather for a Valentine's Day matchmaking event organized by the South Korean government. Single locals gathered in the capital city for Romance Art Night. The matchmaking event hosted by the city's government for 100 unmarried men and women to celebrate Valentine's Day while tackling the country's declining birth rate. The singles engage in conversations, playing games, taking photos, and sharing meals with an organizer overseeing the interactions. Participant and content creator Kang Hee-sung calls the experience fresh and new.
Through this opportunity, experiencing artwork, doing various activities, and having a docent tour with explanations made everything feel fresh and new. And having a date-like atmosphere in the middle of all, that was really nice. In my case, I thought dating would be difficult because I have high standards. Yes, I have high standards, so I thought dating would be difficult, but I think dating would be easier if I just lowered my standards. After all, half the world is women and half is men.
Benjia says that the event is a great opportunity to meet different people from different walks of life. She also welcomed the government's initiative to provide opportunities for single people to connect.
It's not just about meeting someone of the opposite sex. It made me realize there are people from so many different fields that I didn't know about, and it increased my interest in dating and made me think, I want to try this. Besides, there's a lot of talk about the sample generation, the generation that gives up on dating, marriage, and childbirth. But having the government actively support events like this and creating concepts around natural topics that people can participate in made it feel less burdensome to join.
The Seoul city government has been hosting a mass dating program since November last year in response to the country's declining population and to boost the low birth rates in the country. In the Valentine's Day event, 100 randomly selected single residents from 2,356 applicants met in search for their match. After the event, participants submit their top 3 partner choices, with final matching results announced the next day. Eligible candidates must be single, employed, and living in Seoul. In Japan, a delightful twist on tradition is on at the Kikui Takahashi butcher shop. The shop is selling the heart-shaped Wagyu steaks from the Valentine period, offering a savory alternative to the usual chocolates. In Aichi, a prefecture in central Japan known as the Heart of Japan, butchers expertly shape heart and flower-shaped steaks from premium cuts, carefully arranging them, some as steak cakes, and packaging them as luxurious Valentine's gift, resembling a high-end chocolate assortment.
On Valentine's Day, we have so many orders from Wagyu beef gifts on our online store from all over Japan. We deal with different types of beef from Aichi Prefecture. I will make the Wagyu into a heart-shaped like chocolate. In Japan, women usually give gifts to men, mostly chocolate. But recently, it has become very popular for women to give men gifts of meat or heart-shaped meat instead of chocolates.
Along with its unique appearance, Takahashi also highlighted the beef's quality, adding that when you eat it, you feel refreshed in your stomach and it is healthy.
Although the world is still far from peace, with wars and poverty-stricken children, I hope that today, February the 14th, Valentine's Day will be a day of happiness for all of you and for everyone in the world by giving each other gifts.
Kikwe Takahashi, the company behind the concept, present a diverse range of Valentine's Day beef packages featuring premium cuts and breeds with creatively shaped options for a playful twist. While heart-shaped steaks and other themed cuts are available year-round, they come without the special Valentine's Day packaging. And in Moscow, love is in the air, literally, as 99,000 red balloons descend in Moscow shopping mall to celebrate Valentine's Day. Hundreds of Muscovites gathered at Moscow's Riviera shopping center to witness an extraordinary and very romantic event. The release of the 99,000 red balloons to mark Love Day. Crowd of visitors enjoy the occasion, with organizers saying they're close to a world record.
There is such a world record, 120,000 balloons, but it is made up of several nets, not a single one as we had today. It is much easier than what we did today, but we want to break that record too, so that Russia would have the biggest record.
The shopping center also reassured people that all balloons for the show were made from natural latex and environmentally friendly.
And finally on the program, it's cuteness overload in the United Arab Emirates at the annual infant race. It's a yearly event now in its 8th year, bringing together crawling babies racing towards the finish line to win a prize. It's a heartwarming event that welcomes all families to join the excitement.
The 5th edition of the infant crawling race is happening in Al Ain in the United Arab Emirates, with dozens of contestants between the ages of 6 to 16 months participating. At the Run Baby Run race, you get to witness the tiny athletes in action. Ready, set, and go! The babies begin their race with their mothers urging them from behind. Parents cheering their children as they scramble towards the finish line amid laughter and applause. The race is held at the city's Al Bawadi Mall, where children compete on a 6-meter track, cheered on by family and the public. Basil Zaidan, employee at the Al Bawadi Mall, says the event includes multiple rounds through which the best contestants qualify for the final round, where the top 3 winners are chosen.
We are the first one doing baby race. Now we complete 8 years doing baby race since 2016. Each round we choose 10 kids to race together. To choose also from each round the top two. Then after that they will race together to choose the first, second, and the third. Our prizes also, it's more than 3,000 gift vouchers we give to the winners.
The Bawadi Mall has hosted the infant crawling race for the past 8 years. The selected 17 participants crawl, toddle, and possibly take their first steps towards the finish line, encouraged by proud parents and enthusiastic spectators. It is a heartwarming event that welcomes all families to join in the excitement.
And that's the program today. Remember, our top stories are never far away. You can always catch them on channelstv.com. Thank you for watching the program. I'm Layo Olarinde.